See, actually, this is the basic suite that generally, because we are on the Joule. For Joule, generally, build apps will not be provided, build will be provided. If you can see here, this is a extensions for your low-code, pro-code AI will be there. And here you can develop full stack in a visual way. This is the basic difference. Now, with the Joule, what happens if you see our BTP there, we have been for Joule, all this build services has been enabled. In build services, you won't get all what you are thinking here. If you can see this, there are some pricings will be there, which he has also told to me. So here there will be basically your service plans will be there, which are standard. These service plans are standard. Okay, if you can see our BTP also, just show you what we have. So the reason I'm showing you why you are not able to, this is not my desktop. And then this is one something. Yeah, this is the guy who's using for this. Because this difference, because people of architects are there, pre-sales guys also will be there. They should know, right? These are the instances we have, and if someday you should also know the differences, why those options won't come in the C. This is what we have. We have build default is there, which is build apps, which is called build, which we call build default. If you go to the discovery center also, if you go to the overview, if you go to the back one here, see this is free tier, in which you can see the plans here. See, free enterprise base, because this pay as you go, which region we have. So this is a free tier that which we have right now. You can see this is our free tier, which system has provided to us. This is our free tier. And this is build default. You see this, if you go to the home page. And this is a subscription based, which you can see here. It will come as default, build default. So we are user and runtime are there here. So this is for your related missions that you can see, which you have for build for your Joule skills and all these things. You can see this. And whereas if you see the build apps, specifically in the discovery center, I'm telling you why that differences are there. In a subscription model, I told you, right? This differences will generally count for that. See here, there is no Joule is there. Build apps is completely end-to-end build app support, where you want to develop your front end, back end, streamlining complete end-to-end. So that is the reason you are not able to see those things. So whatever are required for Joule, in Joule, generally while you're doing that skills, usually this build app suite completely will not be enabled. So what I asked the admin is to add, because this is one more service which we have, because you want to explore that environment. I asked him for build apps, under that add one more build apps in a separate. He said, in the same Joule sub account, it was tough for us because two build accounts can't be added in one single entity. So he said he'll create one more sub account specially for build apps to practice. That is also on the free tier, he will add it so that you guys can practice from there itself. So in this, you will not see all those options directly there. Got it? The reason why you're not able to see those options?
Yeah, once that is ready, we can.
He already told him last night itself only. He said it will take because these are all not done by him directly. SAP, the control will be with SAP. So he has raised a request and he is trying to do it. He told it will be done by. So he's still trying. Even I tried to call him in the evening 6:30. He just gave me a message that it's still in the progress. So you'll get it in a separate sub account, that particular entity. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Once we get the access, no, we can explore things in that way.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm going back to my next one. Okay, now we have seen all these sales orders, the HANA 4 dropdowns, how you create. So we will discuss on the generative sales orders, how you generate the sales order view, that apps in the using generative AI applications. And then we will try to deploy this SAP Build App to BTP. And as per the time permission, I'll go and try to show you the scanner application also, how you generally build in the Build Apps environment. Okay. So let me start with this here directly. Right. So whenever see generative AI, before that I will give you some sort of introduction and then I'll start it. So let me open this one. Okay. See, generative AI, you might see in a lot of stages while we are doing this. Why generative AI is getting introduced into our environment is, to ease, to simplify our day-to-day tasks. As we have seen, right, when you are creating an application, you are going here and there, putting something there and making something, enabling some page. Okay, all these things you're trying to do. So with that also inside the environment, which is as native to SAP here, so this will help us to generate the machine suggested content on the screen itself. So which will help you to sometimes, because we might not think what machine is thinking. So machine might think better than us, or it's not the same thing every time also as well. What happens like generative AI, especially in BTP, public cloud, it was being giving to design or to get the help from the machine itself directly. So especially to our build apps, no, in generative AI, so it will helps to design the applications faster. Okay, because we are using the natural language prompts here, all the NLP methodologies will be there here. So you can generate the app structures, you can create the UI layouts, you can suggest the data bindings. What you can say, it will assist you with the logics and automations also. Almost all you can, it is a kind of a tool for you internally, helps you to improve the developer productivity. So SAP delivers this actually through Joule and all the BTP AA services. There is a component specially called BTP AA service other than Joule. So that will help us to, bringing all these generative AI insights into it. Okay. So the key for all this, especially in build apps only, you can get a AI app generation. Like, you can describe your app in plain English, prompt to app that also, so that AI generates, you can create an expense approval app or something. It might help you. If it is completely integrated kind of Joule and generative AI, it will help you. Again, if your subscription don't have generative AI, don't expect that from the SAP build up. You have to build it. I told you, right? There are many subscriptions are there. So based on the subscriptions only, all these things will help you on top of that. Okay. In line to that, what happens, like in the build apps application, especially when you are going with generative AI applications in build apps. So whenever you are going to prompt to app, generally we call it as AI capabilities. So just an extra note for you, everyone. Just go to this. These are all key generative AI capabilities. Okay. So the first one will be your AI app generation. Okay, this one, it is nothing but we call it as prompting or prompt to app. Okay, so you can describe your app in your normal language, plain language, which the language support will be there. Even if you want to talk in Telugu, Tamil, English, if the language support is there, in a plain language, if you can support, if you can talk, it will, for example, let's say you can ask like that, hey, create an expense approval app with list, detail, and approval screen. So what AI generate? It will generate the pages, it will generate the UI components, it will generate sample data bindings, it will generate navigation logic. So what is the value here? By using the generative AI, the massive, or I can say in a great manner, your time will be saved during the app bootstrap. Because in general, if you have to manually do a lot of activities you have to do and hours of lengthy time you have to put it on it. So that will be helped with you with this generative AI capability. This is one of the important thing in this thing. Okay. And then also we use the generative AI capabilities in AI assisted UI design. Okay. So when I'm saying AI assisted UI design means basically AI helps what? AI helps to to suggest basically some of the layouts that you want to build, like what can be the form, what are the cards, or let's say the tables, all these things can be done from it. And it can help you to auto bind your UI fields to data variables, how you have to do and where you have to do kind of things. And especially on the AI assisted UI design, it will recommend the component properties, which means what is the use case you get benefit of this AI assisted UI design is the business users can build the apps without any UX expertise on that. I don't have any expertise, but the moment when I start going and work on it, the AI can assist me do this, do this, in a simple manner. So that, like I can be easy for me to go and, do it. Okay, with the simple instructions. That is called AI assisted UI design. That is one such thing which is there as part of that. And the next one is AI assisted logic and formulas. Now, yesterday also when I have written formulas, I know many of you were worried about, hey, these formulas are like this, how can we go? When we start our journey with any kind of, low code kind of things, even still we get, big people who are really worried about the formulas or codings, they might not like it. And it's an open fact. So for them also, the AI-assisted logic and formulas can help it. So inside the logic flow, as today I have shown you the logic flows, right? Where I have written some simple logics. So inside that also, even I also don't want to write that. So then AI can suggest the condition. It can help you the generating the syntaxes, generating the formulas. Okay, it will help you with the validation, whether you have written the right or not. This kind of things. It's not that 100% it might validate you. Sometimes the validation might also go wrong. I'm already telling you, don't depend 100% on AI, generative AI things, because it will help you at 90 to 95%. 100% means you have to put your efforts at some extent here to get this done. Okay. Okay, and then for example, if you have to validate some amounts, let's say greater than 5,000, or validate something between that, or you have to output certain instance IDs, these kind of things when you want to do that, so it will help you and it will reduce your stress, to understanding and making things on top of that. So time will be saved. So more of case, what happens, you can reduce the trial and error kind of non-developer kind of people, like the citizen developers. They are not non-developers, they are all non-developers, but they come and they might have to spend a lot of time if they don't know which formula they have to apply. So in this way, AI assisted logics and formulas can help you. Okay. And as part of another feature that will help in this is natural language data models. So here specifically, AI assist in identifying the entities. Okay, like let's say your employee, the order, the invoice, you can create the fields, mapping the relationships. Okay, a lot of things. So best I can say to quote that, for kind of prototyping or workshops, these kind of activities, if you have to run with using AI, you can do it in this application creations for the natural language data model. Okay. And one of the other important part as part of the AI key capabilities in this area will be your integration. Because yesterday we have seen two integrations, right? One is with the library, another is with our S4HANA. In the same way, integration here, when I talk about Gen AI speaks about SAP Joule to it. This is what it's generally speaks more about it, because Joule is the AI component or AI agent here. It's called cross AI tool, we call it as. Because Joule, generally it works across the SAP ecosystem completely. So not just only for build apps. Now Joule is being built for every component in SAP. Now in public cloud, everywhere you are seeing Joule and generative AI. in the coming days, you will see in everywhere, even ABAP also, you will see the Joule component which is appearing there, which will help you in generating the codes and in validating the codes as well. Okay, so it will across all the ecosystem based apps like your build apps, BPA, S4HANA, SuccessFactors, Ariba. So a lot of things. Okay, you'll have a consistent same AI assistant experience everywhere. It's not that in build apps it will do superbly and and then in ABAP it will not work well. It's not kind of that. So everywhere they are making. That is why now what SAP is doing is whatever the prompts, whatever the content, whatever the data they are making it in with respect to Joule only. So if that particular application, particular tool, particular activity or particular upgrade, anything they are doing, they are making it Joule enabled so that Joule understands and give the solutions for it in the generative AI pattern. That is what the next thing that is deeply happening with SAP inside. So these are the generative AI capabilities you might see as part of the build apps. Okay. So what happens, with the architectural level also in this is just simple. A user prompt will be there. That user prompt will hit your Joule and Joule will hit BTP AI core and that will hit your metadata generator. And there you will get all your logic and data models in UI. This is what enterprise grade applications, how we generally do it. Okay. And specifically, you have understood now what AI will do here in the build apps. Now, what AI will not do also you have to understand. Here, when I'm saying generative AI means people will specifically think that, okay, will it do functional design? Will it do data governance? No. Generative AI will not help you in your functional designs or data governance or either your authorization designs or your performance tuning or complex integrations, whatever you do, that will not be handled by generative AI. And especially some complex business logic, or I can say certain business logics. I cannot name them now, but yes, this will not be created by generative AI because these are all the areas where human validation is mandatory. SAP has not kept it. Yeah, might be in the coming future, these might get also occupied. But as of now, I am seeing that at least for the next 2-3 years, this will not be occupied because this is all where human validations are kept at as a mandatory piece there. Okay. So these are all the things you have to understand, guys, as part of the generative AI capabilities. Now, what I will show you is in SAP Build Apps, we will include this generative AI assistant also. What helps it, what makes basically it will help you is it will quickly create a application based on your certain service metadata or some backend metadata. Okay, so you will use that assistant to generate that particular sales order app, whatever I'm telling you on the S4 system. So this generated app will include certain list pages, some detailed pages, and all these things will be there. So I'll show you one by one how you have to connect to the backend and how you have to do that. Let me show you that. So going back to our system. Opening here.
Are you going to create the same app, sales order workflow app through generative AI, or are we going to create a new one? Can we use the same one? Let us see the difference.
Similar one I'm trying to do it because I have already created that, right? So it will not be a value add for you. I'm trying to show you something special on that. Okay, I mean another thing on that. Okay, so let me show you first of all. Just wait, system is still coming. So I will take something from BTP, whatever is there enabled from the S4, and then I'll generate the pages on top of that. Okay. So what we will do is here, we'll generate a sales order app using the generative AI. We'll go to the S4HANA and we'll enable some data entity there. So from there, I'll configure the rest of the configuration for it, like, whatever the filters I need, what sorting I need and all these things. And then we'll do some sort of cleanup activity for, doing nice generated pages for AI. And then you will preview and you can test the app accordingly on that. Okay. So onto this, just wait, it is still coming. Bye. Okay, let me go with the cold one only. Go to the integration. Now try to take from the integration of S4 one more entity here. Go to the BTP destinations. Okay, there are many. This is generative AI. Don't touch it because the name itself indicates something. So it might have something, but don't touch that right now. So I have some preloaded content in this. So I'm just trying to do that. So for this, I'm taking this one, which is Joule enabled. S4HANA Joule sales order is there. So I'm just taking this one, this entity. Let me check what data it has. So it has sales order. Okay, if you can see under this, I have sales order type, sales order code, and all these things is there. And then if whatever you want, you can actually add these elements also. Okay, I'm okay with what I have right now to install. Whatever I like it, I can go it. You have a lot of things you can explore like this. See, there are many entities are there. Whatever you want, you can add all these entities here. Okay, to that. Okay, a simple one I'm showing you here. So if you want to see whether the data is also not there or there, see the data is also there. So we can get the values of it as well. Complete records are there for this. Okay.
This is something you have created, or this is coming with the build itself?
I have not created. See, I got from S4HANA. These are all SAP S4HANA data.
No, data is fine. I mean, this integration or whatever component you are looking at, right? S4HANA Joule sales order. So this you have developed, or
I have not created anything. It's already there in the system. I'm just picking whatever is there in the system.
It comes from SAP itself, right? That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Data sources, I think, sales order data source. One question. Let's say, if you want to control certain fields, right? Certain behavior based on the order type or, right? Typically what we have in backend, right? Generally, is there an option?
That is what I said. You can expand, re-expand. This is the reason that is there. If you are not happening, these are all not allowed fields.
So these are, kind of hangers or places where we can put our code or logic.
Not logic. Only this logic you have to do from the logic builder only. This is only to put the fields and get the data. That's it. Logic section only you have to build all the logics. There is no logic you can build at this section. Okay, but yes, if your REST APIs have logic and you want to get it, yeah, there is an option here. You can get the REST data entity as well here. If those are already having logic, if not, you are building something you have to build after calling the fields in this entity. I mean environment.
Yeah, so we can tell this is kind of standard OData sources, right? Like
right.
Like backend, we will be having H11 tables, right? Same kind, we will be accessing the sales order data through this entities.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm enabling this data entity, whatever I want. See here, the moment when I'm enabling the data entity, see it is asking to generate page. This is called generative AI. The moment when you do it, system started helping you here. Generate pages. Okay, so SAP Build Apps is now using generative AI to create the pages based on what? Based on this entity metadata. Okay, so now let me open that. You can inspect those generated pages as well. I'm just putting on generate pages. So system will create you pages. Instead, you create pages, system will create those pages. See, generated pages for listing, order create, update, sales order rate. 3 pages it is creating. Now, if you want to see the view, how it will look like, just create on open page view. This is how your pages. See how easy and how defined it is. It's creating a sales order page for your, this is sold to create, right? Yeah. And this is for your read, just for reading for your data. Okay, this is all your orders. This is the one which we created. Okay, that's fine. But this is the 2 which was being majorly done. Yeah, even create sales order, it was created, not by us. This is the earlier one on which we have been done. So now if you want to see, you want to see on logic, for example, on the listing, for example, this one, if you click on there, see, the page will be automatically open to you. So now if you click on the each container, see the page layout, basically first you have to observe the page layout. So if you just go down, see, this is the list header in which it added a title and button automatically. And all has column headers. What is the header? Sales order date, from the entity, it has picked all these individual items. Okay, these are your arrow placeholders. And in the list, I get this one. See, the moment when you are drag and drop, you will see where it is getting activated in the main functional page as well. That means the main design page as well. There's a bottom bar, found error bar, row container, and then list view. Okay, so like this, you will see the sales order, okay, in a mobile mode. If you want to see this in a full screen mode, for example, you are doing this in a normal Fiori kind of thing. So in a full screen mode, it looks like this because Fiori kind of apps you generally build, right, instead of mobile, because mobile we seen as. So this is, see how sales order date, total net amount, and all these things in one single page.
But before generating the page, can we define all the data field which we want and then it should populate, or because otherwise
No,
it is just
you can select whatever the data you want. By enabling the data entity itself only, you can add and delete the fields you want. I can do it. Even here also, you can actually delete whatever you don't want in the, even it has came something. So in the header, whatever you don't want, you can delete that. No, still you have that choice. See, this is a delete option is there. You can do there or here. Two options are there. There is no problem for, like making that change once it is getting that. Okay. Now, after this, you will configure the filters and sortings and whatever the pagings in this you want to get. Because why we have to do? Because this might be a bulk data for you. When it is calling, might be some few records might come extra, or a few things might come extra into your environment. So what you have to do, you'll configure the filtering, ordering, and paging, okay, for all these get record collection logic nodes, and then you will add that variables into this also. Okay, so what happens means this, it will improve basically your performance, and it will be easy for you to get the surety for your relevant data that you want to retrieve. Okay, so this is a live HANA OData service feed. So this will return generally large volumes of sales orders. So in your live environments also, that will be the same case. To get an optimal performance and good results, you have to retrieve only the latest entries from your bin. Okay, so now what you have to do in the logic flow, let me tell you what you have to do. If you go to the logic flow here, see here, the logic is also built. Okay, this is what the generative AI is. This is what I just told you just 15 minutes back. What generative AI is thinking. This will build the logic I told you, right? This is how it build the logic. Okay, and then you have to do what you can see here. The moment when you click on the get record collection, because you want to get the data, right? So if you go to the get record collection, you will see authentication, filter connection, ordering, page, fields, query parameters, nothing, no values are there, right? So you have to put the filter conditions for getting the proper records, ordering how, which order they have to come, and paging also for that. Okay, so that will set the general context of your nice view of reporting. Okay, now let me go to the filter condition first of all. Under filter condition, first of all, if you go to this, go to the object with properties. Here you will add the condition. So because I said the latest data always, so it's always better to get some right data there, right? So you can put some properties also. Let's say, first of all, what is our thing? Sales. You can expand this. You will see the major things here. So the main one is what? In the sales order, the sales organization, right? So I'll limit the sales organization first of all. So these many fields are there. The sales organization. Yeah, here. If my sales organization is equal to the standard company code 1710, that is one condition I'm adding. Okay, I'll add one more condition. N number of conditions we can add, guys. There is no limit on this. Okay, to filter your data. But yeah, too many conditions again might hamper your query, as generally you do in BW or in ABAP also. But don't add too many queries. The system will might had that problem still in the cloud as well. Okay, so now here what you will do is add one more condition, the sales organization, and I'll add, let me check what we can add. Sales order type, that is one more thing which we can add. All the standard orders, right? OR, we can add, right? These two conditions. So my sales organization, if it is equal to 1710 company code, and then sales order type is equal to standard order OR, then only get the data. Only those data I'm asking to get it. So I'm saving this. The conditions are saved for that. Okay. Now you can see the particular things will be there here. Okay. Now we can see the filter condition is mapped with custom condition. Okay. In the similar way, ordering also. Ordering means I want list of values, right? So that list of values, you will do it. So which list order you want to do it? You have to add the sort option. Okay. So even by field also you can add the sort order. Okay. For example, I want the sales order, right? Now sales orders, whatever I do, I want that sales order to be sorted properly so that I am giving sales order in the descending mode, DESC. So this ensures what? The descending means most recent sales orders appear first if I'm going with sales order in the descending manner. Okay, that is why I have used this one. Now I'm using the save here. Now going to the paging. So paging also, you will go with the properties here, first of all. So you can see the page, whatever you want to go, because it is a web application I'm going here. So I'll put the pagination here. First of all, the page size we will keep, which is around a number. I'll just keep how much standard number I can keep. This 10 number, I'll keep it. And it starts with 0, the page numbers. Okay. And then save this. And in the total count, which is required, it is telling, right? And total count, I'll add true or false. This window, I'll keep it to true. Okay. Let's see if the things are not matching, then it will give you some. And let me put it false and let's see that. Save this one. Okay. Now my record condition, my custom order, everything is being done. Okay. Now save this one completely. Okay. Now what we have done, as earlier as what we have done, the initial page has been generated, the logic is generated. I just tweaked the logic. That's it. Okay. And then now you have to do what? You have to add a sales order variable for this. If you go to the variables, now here you have to map the data variables. So already sales order is there for this here. Click on this, which was mapped by generative AI only for this particular purpose. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to add the, again, same thing, the filter condition. Okay, and you have to add the ordering and you have to add the paging in the data variable also. That's it. As simple as that. What you have already done, you have to have the same things in the data variable also. Let me do that one by one. Going to first filter condition, object with properties, add condition. Same thing you have to repeat for data variables also. Whatever you have given, you should be properly remember that and do it. Okay, if you're going for n more conditions you're adding. So I'm doing the same thing here. Okay, save this condition. Going to the ordering, list of values, add sort option. Put the sales order value in the descending. That's it. It's already in descending, so I'm not touching that. Save this. Go to the page. Object with properties. It's 10. This is 5. Save this. Okay. Now save the entire component. So as simple as it. See, with generative AI, if you have to, without generative AI, if I have to build the same application, it will definitely take more than 2 hours for me to do all these things. So now what is the next one? You will see the pages first of all, because whatever the pages that you have in the main page in the user interface, if you go to the user interface, so you can see if you want to add or delete any pages here or something, you can actually do that. Okay. So here the functionality is basically, because here the add button is not required. It has added that. It's not mandatory whatever A is generated to you that you have to continue with it. You have all the full freedom to tweak the way you want this application, because end of the day you have to create the requirement, not system. System will help you to get it as soon as possible or as fast as possible. Okay. This one you don't want. So that button, you can actually delete it. If you want to add one more button, you can add the button based on your design. Now delete this. I have deleted the button. Okay, now I'm the listing. Now I'm going to the next page, which is read page. Okay, in the read page, you can delete these icons because I don't want to edit or delete anything. It is just to read. I want to see the data. The user has to see the data of the sales order. Okay, so these ones also you delete. I don't want these two. Just simply save this. Okay, you can see always you can come at this top. You will see all the pages which are already there in your application area. Okay, that's it. Now, if you preview these app, okay, don't go for mobile, just go for the open preview. So here you will see that my app name, I can just click on that, open. So here you can see the listing is there separately that you can click. The home page is the main one which we created. See, the listing is the main app. So now we can see, you can select any sales order to list to open your complete details of the sales orders like this. This will read your sales order. Okay, you can go to the list. You can put this. It will read your sales order. So the details page will always help you to review your data on that. Whatever the data the latest data that you have it will show you like this. So this is what any customer looks like for any sales order. This is what you want, your sales order, your date, what is the total net amount, who is the customer, who created this. When you go into the details of it, he will see all the remaining conditions. Like you can see, this is what the condition I have filtered with 1710. It is coming for 1710. See the sales order type, 0, OR, standard orders, right? So like this, I can easily get the data of the relevant ones and you can publish it immediately to the users as well. Okay, so this is the benefit of generative AI. So this is how you have to create and the things with the build apps. Once you are done with this, till now we have not published, but we have created these apps and we are just previewing these apps, right? So whenever you want to publish, that means to the BTP environment, you have to deploy. We call it as deploy. After creating and finalizing your app in the SAP Build Apps environment, and after viewing the preview on your web or mobile or tablet, whatever you are, you are ready. Once you're ready with everything, then only you have to go for publish. Unnecessarily don't publish the apps without any proper preview. Okay, so you can go to the publish while you're publishing, simply anything. There'll be two things will be there: create a release version, build and deploy. So this will be a current state of your project, basically with some number versions will be there. For example, I added this one, I might add few more fields or few more additions on that. That will be version 2, version 3, version 4. Like that, each version will be there. Based on the versions, you can release the versions also. So that what happens means your development will be saved in the versions. You don't need to worry about, okay, fine, in my second version, this will overwrite. No, it will not overwrite. Every version will save at one single instant. So you can maintain n number of versions for your designs as well. Okay. So now you build and deploy, go to the build and deploy. This is the one you have to deploy it. So for the build and deploy, you have to generally create a configuration generally. So this deployment, either if it is a devices, it will go to this one of the devices. As I told you the first day, if you remember, all the build applications will land in the build work zone. So you have to select this build work zone. Even in your BTP environment also, I told you there is a build work zone standard edition is there. This is where you will see all the environments and everything. So here also it is showing you the same thing here. You can just go to the build work zone. Okay, and then you will just give the name of the configuration, like something. You can give your set build apps default. This is my configuration. Then you can simply add this one and create that one. Take a little time the first time. This is in progress still. There is an error saying build configuration for me. No worries. Battery. I don't know why this is. Let me refresh this and do this again. I really don't know why this is doing this. Might be I opened this environment. Refresh one more time. Giving different names and trying with it. I don't know why this is not happening. No, something is striking me here. That's fine. I'll show you in the some other things. Okay. Thus, you have to just deploy and run this app whenever you want to deploy in the main configurations. That's it. You will just go there. Do it one more time. Maybe refresh this. Publish, build and deploy this. Or else I'll do one thing. I'll just open another incognito window. I'll try there. Might be this incognito window is doing this. The same error comes. Now it's created. See, you have to refresh. This is the problem with it. Okay, and then now build it. Once you are done it, just go for build. So it will show you your value of build. Okay. So put some version, which version you want to put it. This is 0 version I'm putting. This is the latest version. Okay. If you want to add nodes, you can add nodes and say simply build. So now you can be able to see an entry of your build process under the build history once it is done.
suppose if it is 3 versions are there, individual version was, suppose I want to release the version 1 first always, and then version 2 and version 3, or
release any version. For example, if you feel you created 5 versions, you might feel 4th version is okay. That 4th version you can deploy it here.
There was no dependency, or if some dependency is there between version 1 and version 4.
No, that's what I'm saying. All versions has been given customization, but because you might have some work is saved in one version, you might feel that is okay to deploy, that you can deploy it. So now you're seeing an entry of your build process, guys, as I said, S3 here. So now initially the status will be creating here. It will be slowly moving here. It is building the applications here for deployment here. Okay. Once it is completed, you will see the green symbol there. It will build fastly only because it will talk to the BTP and it will put it on the BTP layer of workzone. That is why it will take little time in doing this building. Let this build. It will take 2 minutes. I'll have some water and come this. Okay. Just 1 minute.
I think till the time the KO is coming back, I was thinking we have to start looking what kind of build apps we should make.
I'll give you the exercise. I'm back here. I'm not going to I'll give you exercises also. You can give me by Monday. There is an evaluations accordingly on that. I won't give you any serious ones, don't worry, but you can get a good knowledge on that while you're building that. You can get, you will see in your, this LMS is there, right? So in that I'll add a Word document. There is a separate folder called shared by trainer. So on that folder, I'll give you all the exercises. So you guys can practice and, get this done by Monday. Okay. So So till morning, you'll get it. I have to add it. So I'll add it and give it to you.
My point was slightly different. I was asking based on your experience, because you also have so many years of experience working with some of the clients. What are the really build apps we should start thinking in our mind? What are the build apps which are required?
Avnish, this is my recent experience in current project. So we were trying to build something on build apps, and we in fact build a new build version also. And it was about to go live in production, and then SAP come back and said there is a very high cost associated with this, even in development and quality also. So we have to remove everything because the customer was not ready, because that's the expense. So again, even though, as you know, right, in our project it's as for HANA latest everything, still the build app we are not able to use. Again, the use case is we need to see case to case basis, because it has the specific cost and subscription.
Right.
I think database cost is involved.
Yeah, that's information. But yes, what I'm seeing, because this is a costly effect. And why I'm telling you costly effect, when it is Joule, right, what happens, Joule pay strategy will be the number of pings you are giving to the Joule and how many return replies it is giving. Based on that, now currently SAP is charging like that. Even for build apps also, if you use generative AI or if you use other than generative AI subscription models also, there is a heavy licenses are there, and then heavy things are also there. But yes, people are leveraging it and getting used, because Accenture directly use Joule for their complete HR kind of things. Even all what we can say, the recent bigger giant like PwC, KPMG, these are also guys have already implemented their clients and their internal things also. This build apps and Joule. In the SAP stories, you can find this. The only part is, if you want to get this leveraged across the all modules or across the ecosystem of you, it will be a huge cost factor for you. But basically, if you ask me like what kind of apps and where you generally get leveraged more, majority on the finance, sales and HR side, it will go. Like, you can create the features for your employee submit expenses, manager approvals for leave management system, or payroll management system, or status tracking, or like for the income tax submissions. These in these areas you can use it right now in those lists. Specifically on purchasing, MM area, what I have lively saw that and also involved in it is majorly on the budget visibilities, the procurement list and details, in your S4 MM APIs and BPA workflows. These are the ones which has been done and successfully proved also on this. Okay, and asset tracking is also one such limelight area where this is getting benefited from build apps and Joule, where people are benefiting by asset list apps, okay, maintenance tickets for assets, your status updates, even I saw some of the government projects also doing Aadhaar photo uploads and all these things, using build apps also. I have seen in one client, I don't want to name the client now, the government entity is using Aadhaar upload through build apps. They benefited that. So these are all these different things I have seen. It's industry specific basically. Many apps are there. As I said, again, it's up to your requirement and your budget and your visibility towards your roadmaps. Is it clear?
We were talking to one of the client, even the use case that they have given is that currently it seems they are using a WebDin Pro. WebDin Pro, gets some data and sends, country of origin and other details to backend. And backend, there is a function module, RFC. It uses it. What client was saying, so instead of creating it's a simple screen. Creating a new WebDin Pro, what they want to do, they want to use a build apps screen and then, use a citizen developers. And then, it's not so complicated. 2-3 fields are there. They want to use a backend, RFC as it is, and then, move what they are doing on a WebDin Pro to build apps. That's a one kind of use case that we are working on.
Definitely, Build App definitely help this type of cases. I have seen that.
But bottom line is that it should be kind of a low or a no code. That's what he's very specific, wherein it's no complications. Citizen developer should be able to do. That's what the
simple, right? There's 2-3 input fields, whatever you said in the WebDin today. You might simply put some submit button or kind of thing, and your data stored in the backend. Maybe a simple success or alert message you can give it. Very simple UI, even with generative also you can build it. It's not a big thing for build apps. You can do it. Yeah, so now this is done. If you click on the delivered thing, you will see this status of what it has been targeted, which app ID and everything. You can see this. You can download this information for your future reference and everything as well. Okay. And then you can do this one, which is deployment also now. So before deployment, you always ensure that this is completely been green. Okay, no errors. Now, once you are done, you can see the deploy directly here. Now click on the deploy. Now on the deploy, it will ask you the endpoint. So this API endpoint, you can get it. I'll actually copy it. I have it anyways now with my system. Copy it here. Okay. Put the organization details if you want to put that. Okay. And this is this one. Let me check this one. Okay. Yeah, I have used this. So it will ask you the moment your endpoint, I already showed you, right, the initial day only where the endpoint will be within the BTP. I have to give you that endpoint. You can simply log in with BTP once again. So it will ask you if it's already SSO, you don't need. Okay, it is a system for me, so it's asking me. So you can sign in as a default ID provider, or you can go as an alternative. I'm going for alternative now. Okay, so let me enter that and authorize this. I'm giving some platform name here. Putting this sign in here. Okay, it will ask you for authorization. Just simply authorize it. That's it. So the first time it will do like that. If the second time onwards, it won't give you all. It will be skipped automatically. It will be automatically published for you. So you can see here, you can put your organization details. You can go your build space, and then continue. Your deployment is in progress, which can be done. Now it will show you all the deployment in progress. You can see expand the details page. You will see all the deployment status as well. So usually it is very simple. This is all the background jobs it will run. In your subscription models, also it won't ask this much heavily. Okay. So don't worry, this monitoring update services, that is okay. Retry one more time. Why this kind of errors will come means, the backend URLs might not be having lengthy times for you. So that, if it breaks in backend, it might get you this kind of error messages again and again like this. Close it and do it one more time. This destination is not found, it is telling. So let me refresh this page. The end thing is it will deploy. Once it is deployed, you will see it in the zone, or it will give you an URL for it. That's the only thing. Anyways, that I'll show you in any time. Not a big deal for me. But I want to show you here itself. Time this one.
Meanwhile, it is deploying. So maybe it just give us idea if in the sales order, if there are many blocks, right? The blocks we have to remove, status blocks and all. It may be a good idea to create apps, right, on the build app and fetch the data from backend, put some logic and automatically remove some blocks, right, to expedite our deliveries and invoices. Do you think this is a good idea?
You can practice it. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, because one single thing, if I put some lot of time, right, it will get, you can do the variations I've showed you, right? Anyways, I'll give you exercise, you'll do it and the things on that. Okay, you can do that, yeah.
But on a different note, on same topic of this block app, what is, additional benefit we get? Because as it is, the API is going to be called to the backend to update the blocker status. Okay, so this could easily be made, let's say, in with Fury front end and APIs.
I mean, easily being made means I'm not understanding that. I mean, without generative AI, you're saying?
No, I'm not talking about generative AI in this case. I'm just talking about build apps.
Okay.
So what extra feature does build app bring in? Except generative AI, like I understand, generative AI can help us, help create this build app.
Comparing to UI5, right? I mean, extra features.
Comparing to UI5. Yeah.
Right.
So one is, generative AI and low code is fine. So what I understand is low code is one of them, and using Gen AI also we can generate that. But performance-wise, how does this compare?
A small comparison for you. You can decide. It's not that, this both are SAP native products only. So I'm not denying that fact that UI5 or something is better. So the thing is, see, the development style in this build app is always a kind of no code, low code, as you have just told. So, but UI5 is a complete full code application. Either you use JavaScript or XML scripting basically for that. So it is a full code scripting. Basically, you do it. So coming to a functional kind of people or, like citizen developers, I told, so they can better depend on, more on SAP Build App. That is the prime idea for that. It means, as I said earlier, for lower to mid-case applications, you can always build in SAP Build Apps. For all complex applications, yes, SAP itself was suggesting go for UI5, not for Build Apps.
Now, if I'm proposing this to customer, okay, so customer is looking to me to provide let's say, a watertight solution. Okay.
What is that? What is solution? I'm reading.
A solution that, checks all the boxes. Okay, something that that's good from performance standpoint also. Okay, so maybe, like, let's say if I'm a functional consultant, okay, for a mid kind of a requirement where, the performance is not that important, maybe work, okay, in particular case. So I might be able to deliver it myself. Okay, but let's say for regular scenarios, I guess that there we still need to go for, the existing methodologies, right?
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. We will not replace UI5 with Build Apps. These are two different entities.
Yeah.
You will reduce the UI5 load by moving simple use cases. That simple use cases we can build in Build Apps. Now, as someone told that, like they have to build an application with WebDynpro and all these things. It was easy for them to build. Then UI5, you have to do a lot of things. I know UI5 I have done. I'm a developer. I know UI5 development has. So while building more, customers do what see. One more thing is also there's a best practice which SAP is suggesting, because both has their own pros and cons. There is a hybrid strategy. Like core apps you can build in UI5, edge and departmental apps you can build in Build Apps, workflows you can use our DPA, and all the AI help you can go for Joule. Like this, all the apps you can integrate in one single. As you said, a performance and a best checked solution. If you want, you have to go for a hybrid strategy where each individual tool can be for their individual.
So this seems more apt for, let's say, like if I'm proposing a solution to customers, so I would rather propose something that is hybrid. Okay, like a completely SAP build solution, like that would be too simplistic.
I'll tell you one more simple example also. Recently, I have done for one of the Dubai client also. So for them, the approval process to make in UI5 was very hectic. Even they are using some DMs, the digital manufacturing and kind of things, the new ones. So in that also, we proposed a hybrid strategy. So where simple forms and approvals we enrouted to build apps, and all the heavy ALV logic and complex logics has been handled by UI5. So this kind of hybrid strategies, make them easy for their navigations and everything. Instead, I put my head into FUD. I have to go on for easy hybrid strategies, UI5 and build apps leveraging both at the same, provided, they are okay with that kind of hybrid strategies. And now clients are moving also because they are also one statement I want to pass it, whether it is okay to hear or not by anyone. Now the client's expectation is that whether they know AI or not, they want AI. That's it. Everyone around the globe is happening. I want AI. I want something AI in my situation, or they want to provide that. Yes, we have implemented AI. Whether it is proving successful or not, they are not looking. They want AI. So in such cases, these kind of hybrid strategies, which you can use and you can showcase and collaborate with all the current traditional tool sets, which might prove successful also for you.
I mean, that's a very important point you just mentioned. So this has been all the engagement these days.
Yeah, that
and
is
it comes down from CEO, okay, from client CEO.
I think that's a valid concern you have to, kind of simplify, right? See, it is very difficult to, go and say to the customer, right, from a delivery standpoint, saying that, this is what we have built and see, if you can use it. Instead, what customers do, right, they would say that this is my problem, okay, or this is my as process, right? Now, let's say it takes me this much amount of time, okay? Can you go ahead and try to simplify this or showcase me a POC? Build a small POC and showcase to me. If you can simplify, you can better the performance, better the time, turnaround time. Let's say you are doing a standard sales order cycle, right? Or the standard sales cycle and everything, right? Now, you know how you have to create a sales order. There is a credit check, right? There is a master data that you have to maintain, right? Let's say your ATP process runs in another third-party system. You get a confirmation which comes to SAP, right? So all that, right? I'm not saying full-fledged process, but at least a small, kind of a small scenario, Taibo. If you can try to see, which is more majorly a kind of a mix of SAP and a non-SAP system, maybe a very small thing, right? With checks and validations, right? That would really be nice, or anything that you have
I'll try to
in
show
your
you.
experience.
Don't worry about it. While in Joule is happening, that time you will understand. Now you are seeing the build only, right? Now when you see the build process automation, there will be approval workflows and will be there. So that is where generally clients look more interested. They want the workflows more. They will see automated approvals. Automation comes more into the picture. They will look a lot of value added there. So when that approvals are getting in line with the AI capabilities, that is where client will be really interested to go with solutions. That is where you have to bring it. Now, because you're still at the early stage of learning now. So once you mature with the BPA and the Joule also, then you will connect the dots clearly. Now, how this is traveling, how it's happening, how it's calling, all this can be a solution for you also. You can only divide, you can do and you can show to client as well. So that's the experience you gain it once you completing the Joule sessions also. Okay.
Yeah. Anything from your experience which you have encountered in any of your projects, I think that would also come handy.
I'll add it in the end of the sessions. Definitely, I'll add it for you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the next one for similar application, I'll show you one more scanner application kind of thing to you. So let's go with the creation of application again. Front end. An application here. This is a scan application. Scans the barcode. Let's create this. You can just simply write something here while you're doing this. Hello, a kind of message. You can write something here on top of this. So I'll add a button. So we'll click on the scan button and we'll write a logic for that. Okay. So please click scan button to scan the barcode of the product. Any product you can take from web also. I'll show you that. Okay. Now you will add what? A button onto this particular element. Now click button here. So keep it into a mobile environment so that it will be easy for us. You can just make this as scan here, the label as scan. Okay. So once you are done with this, now you have to enable the logic for this. For what? First of all, to enable the logic, first we have to drag and drop the barcode of it. Okay. So there is a barcode in the logic view. Let me get the scan barcode here. We go to this one, add logic to home page. Now you'll see these ones. Every one of you practice this one. Okay, once that is available, this version is available for you. Just drag and drop this first of all. One second, systems. Oh, sorry, this one. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll write on, write on the button, right? So now it should be always on your event component app. So you are clicking the button and then you are doing the scan. So the logic have to write it on the button, not on the page. I forgotten and I've written the page. Now you just simply drag and drop your bar scan code here and connect that here. Simple. So you are connected that. Click on your scan barcode here. Okay. Go to the properties of it here. Then outputs. There will be some outputs will be there. So this is nothing but if there is any error that it is not happening, so it will automatically will give that error. Okay. It is output at port 2. Have any additional outputs you want to provide from that, you can do it. And this is a text content for your scan barcode, whatever will be there, you can put the barcode content in it. Okay. So let me put this.
For this option also, we don't have the device barcode and all.
That's what, it is all coming from your, not on the subscription version. There's a Joule thing, right? In Joule, these things are not there. So there's a build. So this is build apps. Both are different. So that is what you'll get.
Got it. But we can't practice now with the.
No, you'll practice. You'll get it by today itself only. I already spoken to him. He's doing that.
Okay. Okay.
Just one second. Okay, 1 second. So I am here. So when you are here, when you are going for scan code, barcode things, so you have to add some logs also for this. So for that, I am adding the log. There is no log here. You have to get from the marketplace. So go to the marketplace and add the log. Okay. Enter the selection for that. You will see the debug log here. So this is see if it's running app on the browser also, the log message into the web browser can console. So this is a one which will help you in such logs cases. Okay. So what you have to do the other time when you get the access, to this marketplace, see whatever are there in the different things are there in this, and you can try working on that as well. Okay. See now here I have installed that. I'm adding the debug log. Okay. Now click on the debug log for writing the log values on this. Now if you go to the log payload properties, log message, add this here. So here you will add the output value of your node. Okay. So there will be many things will be there. As I said earlier, different variables and things will be there, which you want to, which I have already shown to you in the earlier sales order thing. So basically here you have to put the output variable first. Okay. So now let me put that. So we have to get this 1 second. Let me add this. I should get this scan barcode here. It was not connected or something. 1 second, guys. So here you have to select your variable event object. Let me do this 1 second. One second here. This is not activating somehow. Let me check what is the options it is missing here. Refresh this. Okay, we should get this scan barcode to the link of it. Okay, let me add the alert page and try to do that. If it is not the case, no issues. This one also. Something the scan is not working. I don't know. I just tried it here. Cancel button label is also there. Standard only I kept it. Okay, pick it beta. This one is also okay. QR. This is a QR code, so it has to go with QR only. The initial one. No, it's not coming. I don't know. Some problem is there. This is not. See, usually what it has to get, I want to show you this. This scanner should get it, whatever the alerts and the messages that you want it here. Even this is an alert. If I drag it, is the alert. Okay, when you go with the value of it here, the dialog message value, here we go to the output value, you'll get this, whatever this scan barcode is there, that parameter will be created and it will be your message for you. So that is what I want to show you. So the moment when you scan any barcode, click on it, it has to do it. That's what I'm trying to do it, but it is not enabling the parameter. I don't know if there is a problem in this thing. Let me try. Something is happening in between. Okay, open the web preview. No, because the connection is not there, so it is not working. Anyways, I'll try to show you this application. I don't know what issues with the scan barcode. If there is an issue with support bunch or something, I don't know. I have to recheck on it. But it's a very simple one. You have to attach this and you attach the barcode. That's it. Any barcode in the web, you can actually scan it. You scan it and you will get the details of it. That's it. Any food apps, food scannings, or any barcode scannings. that you want to scan and get the values of it, we can do it. System will help you on this. A simple scanner application. Okay. So anyways, I'll check this problem why this app is not working, and I'll come back to you. Okay. And other than that, the next one we have is, so this is what we generally see in the build apps. So now in the second application, in the BPAs, there's the BTP cockpit, right? We have it. The next one we have is the build process automation. So in build apps, this is what you can learn up to what for your Joule entities that you can create. Okay. Because when we are doing the BPA right now, I'll show you the build PPA also. You can call these BPAs whatever we created into the build environment also. So there also you will do. It's not that build apps will be completed, at one stretch or at one go. So whenever you're trying to do BPA, when you're trying to do Joule also, there also you have to frequently visit the build apps. Okay. It will be the part internally it will run. Okay. So that then also you will see the connections with it. Okay. Basically, what is build apps, how applications can be built, how S4 has to be, how S4 data will be generated on it, how generative AI can help on it, how you deploy it. So these are all important parts I have showed you as a full life cycle there. Okay. So the small applications we can create, I'll give you the exercise anyways. But the next one will be your BPA. So I'm starting this BPA now.
Meanwhile, I can ask one question, like this authentication to the cloud founder required while deploy the app. No, that time you got that login with BTP, that authentication to the cloud founder.
You won't get it. This is a separate account what I'm showing you. So generally, it will be automatically deployed for you. the moment when you want to deploy the applications, because we are running in the
API end point, if I select any one of them, it's asking for same thing what that you got that authentication to.
Right?
There are only 3.
You will get the endpoint. This is the endpoint you have to get. I show you, right? And initial sessions. This is where you will see your endpoint.
Where exactly?
This is your endpoint.
Which one? Okay, Cloud Founder, this one down. Okay, got it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah. So on your sub account and the general properties, you will have your endpoint, everyone. Please, I have already told to you. So this is where your endpoints will be there for the BTP.
Yeah, thanks, Kaipo. But first to explain, but when we are deploying that time, we have to search again for this route. So this will help. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Right. On the BPA side, now still loading, it's taking a lot of time. Okay, so now what you can expect from the BPA is like we will see a kind of automated approvals, flows and kind of things, email notifications, automatic notifications, escalations, all these kinds of things we can do it from the BPA. Okay, so BPA as part of BTP, it will help you to automate all your workflows, either approval or if you want to orchestrate any business steps or if you want to combine any human plus system actions kind of activities also, you can do it. So majoritarily systems, SAP side, the customers will look for the triggering of workflows from the build apps, right? Those ones you will do in the BPA. Like it's a kind of a complete automation that you can build with the help of BPA. Okay. So this handles all your, let's say as build apps is handling the UI forms and data capture, BPA will handle all your approval flows and notifications and all these things. Okay. So the architecture of build apps, that BPA is also similar to build apps, but the only thing is the core components will vary in the BPA, because the main core components you will frequently see here will be majorly your processes. Okay, like you will see your BPM and based workflows, human task and kind of service task, a combination of it. Okay, when you want to submit a request, when you want to do a manager approval. Okay, so when you want to make a finance approval, these kind of things you will do as part of the processes in the BPA. Okay, and second thing you do in the BPA is the forms. Basically, all your approval forms, a sales form, finance form, for budget forms, or your what do we call income tax forms, whatever, auto generated, custom generated, all these things comes under as part of your forms, which you can do. Okay, so and then one of the other thing is business rules that you will do as part of this BPA as well, like any decision logics as if else conditions. For this much of amount is greater than certain value, so it will go to the approver number 1. If this value is going for that value also, then go for approver number 2. Or else if these many days, for example, by default 2 days of leave will be automatically approved. If there is more than 2 days of leave, it is approved, it will go to the senior manager. If it is more than 5 days or 7 days, it will go to the director. So that kind of approval logics you can write it. So system will do it. Same Joule will pick it. That is what the action that it will do here. Okay. So now let me tell you what actions that you can do as part of the BPA, because actions I told you day one only in the main pane of the build apps. So here the actions it will take is all the backend calls actions you have to do. Your update status calls will be there. Okay. This is system generated. You can send mails and you can call the APIs. These are all the common actions you will do as part of the BPA strategy. Okay. So, and automation level also, yeah, you can do for legacy systems, your RPA style boards, not only mandatory for build apps. So many automations are also there. You can define your JSON inputs, you can create a process, you can build some apps in the build app trigger flows, you can expose your process to an API, you can call a BPA. There are many things are there. Through BPA is one of the wonderful thing, in the build suite environment. Okay. So if you can ask me live, real life examples, as I said, your employee that submits the expenses, okay, your manager approval task, your status updates, user notification. These are all you can do in live. You can use that also. Okay. But I'm saying that for the multi-step process, you'll use it, but do not use this BPA for your single backend calls kind of activities, or, simple form submissions. These kind of activities don't leverage the BPA. That is what SAP generally suggests also. Okay. So now let me show you what that you can do from the BPA. This is my activity here. Okay, it is started. Now go to the create. So here you will go to the automation process, automated process. Okay. I also tell you one thing. I told you that I'll show you in the application. I showed you basically on the front end, right? I told you I'll show you the back end also. Back end will be covered while I'm talking about the BAS. BAS, I'll cover the back end plus full stack. Both of these will cover that time. Okay. Just for your information. Okay. So now if you go to the create, go to the automated process. So any process, automation, or if you want to build to automate a workflow. Okay. So both will be there as part of this. We can do it. Okay. So I'm just showing you now, I'll build an application also, what it contains. Review this, create. Again, one more application, just showing you the environment first. Today's server is slow. Is anyone practicing along with me? Might be don't know. This is server. I'm just facing some issues. It is taking longer than usual. We try from here. This one is also there. A simple demo one, I'll write it. Like this is a simple submission process. Can create, okay, for approving the request for different tools or something. Okay, I'm not writing everything here just for the purpose of time. Accept this. Okay, now write the process name, what process we are going to do it. Okay, let's say I'm writing, this is a access request approval process. Okay, so you can, the same can be your description also, so don't worry about that. Yeah, and then create. The moment when you go, see, this is the one, you can always see the tool SAP Build Process Automation. This is a BPA tool. And here also you have generate. You can use generating the AA also. Now I'm not telling that AA right now. I'll just explain the process. Then later part of time, I'll show you how you can generate the process directly with generative AI as well. Okay. Now you can see how do you start your process, add a trigger and end. So this is a flow. So this is a automation. So this generally starts with a start and ends with an endpoint. In between, you have to add whatever you want. Okay. So now you will create a trigger, okay, form for the process. So for that, you have to first click here. You will see all these individual things. You want to create a form, whether an approval process, or you want to write a control event, or you are going for a complete automation, or you want to write an action like get crude operations. Actions means email notifications, any sub process, process under process, or you want to make decision whether approve, reject kind of thing, variant templates, script tasks, placeholders, or very detailed things will be there in BPA. Okay, so now I'm just going to submit a form for that. So I'll just write a form for this. I'll just select a form here. Go for a form. So under form, you will see, let me do this. So you will see a blank form here. Now select the blank form. Give the form name. This is an access request trigger form. Okay, that is the name of it. We can leave description is not required. Okay, or else write it in case if we want to use it in Joule, you can use it in the later point of time. You can create. Okay, so now it will give you a kind of this one because you have to in this BPA, whatever the element you are adding, either a form or a request or anything, it will be generally having some properties, some inputs, outputs, and kind of attributes. This is the one which you have to map it for it. Okay, now you can see here. So when you go to the open editor, a form will be added. See, this is a form generally it looks like. You're getting this? So this one you have to write it. Okay, the way you want it. You can see all these ones. You want to add the choice of your buttons, your drop downs, your checkboxes, main headline 1, headline 2, paragraph, text, everything will be there, even attachments for the links, the tables you want to draw, if you want to add a calendar, any numbers, everything is given option here in the left side panel. So you can use that panel and you can write it. Okay, so this is your main form. Here. Okay, this is a trigger. Either you can add a trigger. This is basically a trigger which I want to add it. So one second, let me do it. I'll delete this. I want to make this out and just add this one. On the major trigger, I'll add it. Create. So this one, now open editor. Okay, we go to the access form again. Open editor. Choose your headline one. So this is your headline one. Now you can write something like access request for citizen developer tools, kind of thing. Okay, this is access request for that. Okay, so now here, once you are done with that, now go with the text. It is up to you. I'm just adding the way I want to show you now. If you want to do your own innovation, you can write your own customizations also on the text here. Okay, now you can write the requester name in the new text here. Who is the requester name? You can write like this: requester who is requesting this particular request. Because you are, when you want to approve, you have to know that, right? Who is requesting for you. So for that, you want to add the requester name here. Okay. Now go to the headline 2. Here now you will write the tools what you are requesting for that. Okay. Now you can write this here. Select the tools that you need to access. So form means like Google form, simple how you are preparing, right? Similar, you have to prepare that here. Again, add a text here. Just drag and drop. Okay. Instead of text, let's do one thing. Innovatively, I'll remove this one. I'll add the checkbox. The drop down checkbox. So right here, some checkboxes you can write. SAP Build Apps. Okay, you can write one more also, our BPA or Joule. You can add multiple checkboxes. This I'm writing SAP BPA, SAP Joule for multiple options. Okay, SAP Work Zone. Okay, so once you are done with this, add one more text area because there might be additional comments that you will get it. So additional requester comments you will add it. So they will add it whatever the versions or something. If they have any ideas they want, they'll put it in the additional text for it. Okay, now add this one more here. You can write like this in a new headline. You can give her like this. Please press enter, or the submit button will be there automatically here. You don't need to separately write here. So please press submit to send access request for approval. That's it. The new headline is done. Now you can just scroll up there. Okay. So whatever the fields you want to make it mandatory, if you select that field, you can just make it required. That's it. Okay. Now just simply done this. Now save this. Okay, you can see the form. Now close this. You can see your complete form here. Now close this. The form will be tagged here. Clear everyone? Form creation, how to do. I'll show 3-4 use cases here. This is the first one I'm showing you now. We can still go into this pattern now. Is this clear everyone? Any questions on this?
Guys, you are not added to the in between the trigger and end. You just added to the access trigger only. In the first point only, we added the form.
First point only because of the access trigger form, I added that. There are some examples I'll show you where in between also you will write it. Now I'll show you that one also. I want to show variation. So that is the reason first I added that in the form itself only. You can add a number of things in the middle also. So first one I added as an access trigger form directly a submit form here.
Got.
Okay, that means your starting point is this form. You will fill the data. Based on that, you will trigger something.
Yeah. Is it clear, everyone? Any questions on this?
We haven't added that end one, right? How it got, I mean, it is inbuilt or?
This is built, inbuilt. End is automatically built.
Okay.
The start and the end will be there by default as a process here. You don't need to add anything on top of that. Right? So the next one, once after that, you can create and configure the forms also on top of this. Okay. Now let's go to the another variation on this. That means to the continuation of it. So whatever you create, the overview will automatically add the artifacts. See here. Now first in the trigger, I have added the access request approval process, right? And then this trigger form, this access trigger form, which we have added in it, right? One by one, the forms are also, this is one which you have been, you can see this. Now you can see this to the triggers. Okay, usually you can import the processes also. You can import a form, you can import a visibility scenarios and a BPM prompt which is already existing. To save the time, there are preloaded many templates and many processes are there in the marketplace. You can directly get them. You can tweak the way you want. You can use it also. But if I show that, you will not get anything directly, right? So that is the reason I'm showing you a new one from the scratch. So you can go to the main page now. Now add a trigger, one more trigger here, which is approval. Now you created a form, but we have not added any approval on top of that, right? So now go to the middle level plus symbol. There you will see approval. Okay, click on the approval. You will see a blank approval. Go to the blank approval. Don't generate any AI right now when you're practicing. Now this is approval. Access request approval form. See guys, this is one such thing which you imagine that when you create something in the BPA, you can call that in the BP and build apps also. That is what we did for sales order, right? Similarly, you can manage and maintain your BPAs and you can do the build apps. Okay, now this is based on a form, right? If it is based on a form, you have to click on based on form. If it is generally an approval thing, you can go for general. Now we are doing from form, you have to select based on a form. What is the form? It's already been got access trigger, request trigger form or access trigger form. We created two forms. Now one I deleted that, it is access trigger form only, right? Yeah, this is the one I have given the name. So please be careful what you are actually doing there. Okay, now create this. I'm going slow for your understanding. Okay, now you can see access triggers form. See, it automatically gives you the flowchart of approval and reject. So you have to just embed this data and parameters. That's it. Okay, but it takes little time to understand all these inputs, outputs, everything. Now we'll understand all these things one by one now. Now here, if you see any empty panel, just if you click here, it will go automatically. If you make this, it will come again into the system. Okay, so now get the open process panel here. Now you will see variables here, general variables attributes. In general, the name will be there, nothing will be there. Now go to the variables. So now from variables, you can see there is some process inputs which was given by system, like additional requester comments. This is my checkboxes. This is my requester name, what I made it mandatory in the form. All these things are there, right? Okay. So these are all the available variables for us to map it for our form process. Okay. So now here, what you will do, just simply close this. You have seen the variables, whatever you have been done, it's came. Now choose your request Excel form. This one you have to choose it. Okay. Once you choose it, you will see a right navigation will be provided for you there. There in the subject, you have to write something there. What the moment when you click on subject, see here, there are two things came. Process the metadata, access the trigger form. Okay. So here you have to write that the subject line as like this is a citizen developer tool, right? So citizen developer tool access request by. That is the subject. Who requested that? By whom? Requester name, you have to get it, right? So for that, if you expand the access request of the trigger, you will see the requester name here. Now select that requester name. It will be automatically comes here, the requester name in the subject line. So it is calling those which you have already included in the form. Okay, you can see this request by. Okay, 1 second, let me, yeah, double time it came. Okay. Array, so many times it came. Okay, the requester name, you're seeing this. So it is actually, this is a up and down arrow. You can see this clearly. Okay, system given you that facility. So don't confuse this up and down arrow. Okay, so now you scroll up and scroll down further to see. Okay, once you are done with that, now you have to give the user's name. Now come down. Now the day one session, so many asked me, how can I know which users I have to write? Here is you have to use your users and groups. I told you that in BPA, we will do all these users and groups, right? This is where you have to give your relevant users and groups for all the approvals. Okay, so now here, choose the users first of all. So users here, the users will be then the metadata. So now here started by whom I have started, that is a name. So that is by user. So now this is a single system for me. There will not be many users in this. So I'm just going with this one only here. Okay. Now once I'm done with this, now close this access approval request properties. That's it. This is what you have to do in the access request approval form. Your subject, add the recipients and close it. Okay. Now go to the editor of your request form here. So there you will see all these parameters and everything, right? Now you can add one more thing also, the requester name, and we can add requester user ID also in this, under this. Because you have to know your requester user ID when you're working in global companies, right? So you will generally use that user ID. So I'm adding user ID also in this. I'm still tweaking the form. So now here there is no headline. So let me add one more headline here. Requester tools, which we are adding this here. Okay. And the top level also, I'll add one more headline. I'll enter approval for your citizen developer tool access. This is already there, but I'll add one more thing also here above to it. So two things will be there. Okay. So like this, we'll add something here. Okay, so now approver will give the comments, right? So we have to give additional approver comments. So go to the text area, go to the towards down. So write approver comments, because approver, when he is approving, he might write some comments, right? If there additional comments are there, so that he will do it. Okay. So you have to understand one thing. Earlier, when I created a form, there was only submit button. Now, when I extended the form to a decision matrix, see here, now I got approve, I got reject. Both are came. We have to observe the variation here. Okay. So now here, I given the approval comments here. Okay. For approver comments also, we can write one more headline. So you can write like this. Please approve or reject the tools request. Okay. So then we are done with this. We have added the necessary things in this. Now save this particular form, whatever the way it is, and close the form. Okay, now we can go to the main one. Even if you close, don't close also, no worries. We have tabs separately been opened for this. So we can work on the tabs accordingly on that. Okay, now I have added the additional form request also. Now what we have to do is, we will configure the inputs of this access request approval form. Okay, so there are no inputs we have configured. So you have to configure all the inputs of it. So earlier I have shown you the general ones only. Now we'll configure inputs, outputs of it, whatever are required for this particular form. Okay, so the first one, you will see the inputs. We have to go to the additional parameters here. First one, the additional request or comments is there. Just click on there. So for this, you will add this text. Simple. Okay, you can see that one, and that name you have to tag it. Requester name, requester name. Okay, come down. So wherever the details has to give, system will identify you with yellow marks. So there you have to give the data. That is recommended for you. Okay. So then you have to go for this one, the next all things that you will get it in the data. Okay. Now if you see BPA, BPA, Build Apps, Build Apps, Joule, Joule, Work Zone, Work Zone. So all checkboxes inputs has been properly mapped. Okay. So once you are mapped all the properties, now we go to the next one. Scroll down, still things will be there. Just once again, system is stuck for me. One second. We need to get that requester ID and those also. Is this saved? I was really worried now. Is this saved, right? So this should get refreshed. Okay, requester user ID. I'll map with started by. Who has started this one? That will be, I'll map it. Okay. And then that's it. Okay. And then simply save this and close this. Okay. Now go to the overview. So we have done the approval form and trigger forms. We have cleared the configuration of this. Now, after the approval is done, now we have to send a notification also. Email notification you have to send as a confirmation, right? So for that, what you have to do, you have to add a.
If you can just open to that logic where you were putting this input parameters for the form.
I mean the properties in the right panel, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tell me. Yeah, this one. Inputs.
So is there a mechanism where I can put some if-else condition?
There. If-else conditions, there is a separate box is there. If you see, there you will, this decision matrix will get that ifs and blocks. If you see the decision, for example, I'm writing, I'll just remove it. If you create, it will get you all the if and else conditions.
Okay.
There you will write all your if and else, not here.
So, I mean, basically to determine a logic of a field.
In output parameters will be there. Here you will write all your rules, whatever rules you want, what variables you'll call it, you will do it. I'll show one exercise on that also. You'll understand that. Tell me, what is your next question?
On the same lines, if the country is, let's say, US, the language should be English.
You can do it. A lot of logic you can write it. Logic is anything in it. Even you can write it, or you can ask, you can generate the AI to write it. It will also write logics for you here. Simply you can write it from the AI as well. Yeah, now, let me remove this. I have unnecessarily added. 1 second, this will create havoc for me. 1 second, let me delete this. Yeah. Right, next one, I'll add it.
Email triggering the email after approving it.
No, 1 second. System is the mouse is blocked for me. So now I don't want to, now email notification form, how I'll create, I already created a form. I don't want to create a separate form now. So that form, I'll duplicate it and I'll just tweak that to email notification. That's what I'm going to do it. So now here, this is the access trigger form, right? Now here, if you duplicate that, is a copy. Now change the name to it, to the email notification form or approval notification form, whatever it may be. Approval notification form, here also approval notification form. It will come automatically. You can just simply duplicate this. So this will take the entire form for your duplication. So don't need to rework on it. Okay, just tweak the form, that's it. Okay, now here, you just simply choose the requester name here. Whatever this field is there, right? You just choose that. So here the 3 dots will be there. There you can see this. You don't need the requester here because it is a email notification form. So I'm just deleting this. So in the same way, I don't want the tools also here. I'm removing the tools. I'm deleting these tools requesting form as well. So simply I'll write it here. I'll add a headline field here. On this, what you can write, right? We will say your access request to the whatever the below you write now, you checkbox it. That was to the following citizen developer tools has been approved. Okay, for the approval message. Okay, so now you can choose your things here. These are all not selected. Now in the mail, they won't get a chance to select. So you have to make it as read only. All these fields, you will lock it to read only. One by one. So once you lock it, you will see the additional requester comments, right? So that also you can keep it, no issues. That requester comments, whatever will be there, you will see that as a mail. You don't need to delete that. Also, you can make it as read only because whatever the requester write it, so it will be showcased. It is a request for that. Now you will add a new one because you can see this is a submit button is there. So you can write this. You can write this as please press submit button to close approval notification. Okay, simple, that's it. Save it. It is saved. Once you save it, just confirm it and go back now. Now you will add and configure that approval notification form. Sorry, that is not mail notification. I'm sorry, mail notification added later point. This is the approval notification form to the approver. So here you will add to the main part. That means in the configuring of it, you'll go to it there in the approval notification form. Let this come. So approval notification form, where you will add it? Here under approve. So click there. Again, click on the forms here. So you can see the available forms also. Click on form. So you will see your approval notification form, what we created. Now add that there. That's it. It will get added. Okay. So there you have to write a property for it. Subject line, you have to add what subject line, and again what fields you have to add it. That's it. So you can write a subject that your access request to the following citizen developer tools been approved. Okay.
One small here. I mean, what is that red line in the application notification? Is there any notice there or any information? Below the approval, you have added this approval notification form, right? There, one red color is coming, right?
This one.
Yeah.
These ones to map the data.
To map the data. So if you are not done the mapping, then we can directly we will come to know by seeing this, right?
Yeah, system will identify you that. That's what I'm.
Okay.
Yeah. With yellow or red, it will show you generally.
Okay.
So red is mandatory, yellow is optional, but still you have to map it.
Okay.
Okay. So then we have written the subject line like that, and then you have your access trigger form there. Now expand this one, and you have to give the requester name there. Now put the requester name here. Okay, one time is enough. Okay, and now go to the users, process the metadata again. Take the started by. Okay, and again you can see the next one is inputs. Put the inputs. You can see all these inputs in the orange color, I mean yellow color. So additional requester comments, whatever is there, you can add that additional requester comments. The additional approver comments is nothing but your additional requester comments. And SAP BPA and all these things will be there in the downside. If you access the form, you will see all these things. So you'll add this one, BPA to BPA, again build apps to build apps, again Joule to Joule, work zone to work zone. Okay, once you have added all these things, slowly add that. System will recognize that.
Now, how to make it as a gray out fields?
Means gray out means?
I mean, it is only display mode, not in editable mode. You said that when
these ones, these are all your system will identify that. It's not that you will gray out. Whatever are activate, system will automatically identify you. It is one of the good feature here. You don't need to worry which one I have to map and something. System will identify and activate them, and you just have to click on it. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Now save this. We have done the configuration. Let that save. And close this form. Okay. So now, as you have added approval, similarly for rejection also, we will add the form and the process will be completed, right? So now go back here to the main steps one more time, on the overview steps one more time. Again, whatever the approval form is there, right? You have to go to the rejection form there. So now here, just go to the approval notification form. Array, a second, hold on. Okay, just directly duplicate this one to rejection notification form. Right, duplicate this and just now form tweak again. Okay, now here you have to write the following things here. Here you can write your request for Zillion has been rejected, not approved. Rejected. Okay, that's it. And downline one message you have to add for the submit. Just you will add instead of approval, you go for the rejection notification. That's it. Save this one form. Once it is saved, now go back to your main page. Same thing, add a trigger for it. Add a trigger for rejection form here. Same again form here. Now here you will see show all four. See, there is a rejection notification form. Add that in the trigger. Okay, same in the subject line. You can copy the data instead of you writing every time. I forgot to copy. Your access request to the following citizen developer tools has been rejected. Okay, that's it. For this also, you requester ID again, you will map that. Open your access trigger form and add the requester name there. Whoever it might be, the requester name will be automatically called there. Okay, and then the users, normally to the users, you'll go with it. Process metadata and start it back. That's it. And you'll go to the inputs.
Yeah.
One second. Process. One second. Let me complete the process. I'll come to you. Yeah. Okay. Additional requester comments will be there. There you will add the additional approver comments, which will be there. That is will be automatically mapped. And here same thing, apps to apps, BPA to BPA, and Joule to Joule, work zone to work zone. Okay. So after this, you are done with the things, everything. 1 second, system is saving. Now save this and close this. Save the entire thing. Let that save. Okay. Now after this, you have to create process conditions also for this to process the pop-up opening, when you're doing that to run and deploy the business process, right? So you have to create the process conditions for that. So it will take little time. Am I okay?
One question. So I think by and large it's clear. See, this is a normal development process, the way you have explained it nicely, right? Now we want also to understand using AI, right? Or using this generative feature, which you see at the right hand top, right? How much part of this can be done by using this generative AI feature?
Maximum 40 to 50% part it will cover. The only thing is you have to rest, you have to tweak it. I'll show that also. You'll understand that when you are generating AI, how it will help us, I'll show you.
Okay.
As I told earlier, because if I show all the simple features, right, you won't understand. So now you have learned a lot, right? How form can be triggered, what you have to add, how form you have to add it. So the lot of learning will be there if you're learning from scratch. So that's the reason I'm building the complete flow chart for you so that you'll understand more easily and you can start working on that also when you want to do that. All right.
I have one last question. How will you assign these agents actually? Access request approval is there, right?
So what is that you're asking?
Agents means approver. whom it should go.
Add it in the process conditions, the approvers. Who's the in the username generally you can add. I have added a user requested by there, right? Initially, you'll have your managers and every mail IDs, it will be tagged under this things. So there you will got, like if we have seen this rejection, this users, it is I have given who was started.
No, requester is fine, yeah, I understood, but approvers will change, right?
The recipients is your approval. That's what I'm saying. Your approval data will come to you. That guides IDs, you have to add it here automatically. Or even the groups also you can add.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.